Hello and welcome, everybody. I am so excited to have you here joining us for our breakout session on TIBCO. And this is part of our overall How to Mule series that Apicero has created and launched over the last couple of months. And if you don't know what How to Mule is or kind of why it's relevant or why it's important to you, that's perfectly fine. I will cover that in a few slides. If you've joined previous sessions or happen to be following Apicero on social, you've probably seen my face or my name a time or two. But for those of you who are unfamiliar, my name is Savannah, and I currently serve as the Global Head of Marketing for Apicero. I'll also be your host today for this session, and I'll introduce a few of my colleagues here that have joined me. But enough about all of that. Let's dive into today's agenda. So Varsha, next screen, please. All right, so we have a lot to unpack today. At a high level, we'll be looking at how you can reskill from TIBCO into a successful career as a MuleSoft developer. And in doing so, we'll break down the technical capabilities and functionalities of both platforms, and we'll walk you through a live demo of what you can expect from MuleSoft's Anypoint platform. And I want to make sure that I note this, but please stick around until the end of the event because we have some really exciting and fun trivia questions and prizes that we'll be giving away. So without further ado, let's get started with the event. All right, so some of you may be wondering, like, who is Apicero? I got this email. I'm curious about this event, and they keep mentioning that they can help me kickstart my career as a MuleSoft developer and unlock these new doors or these new pathways for my career. But what exactly is Apicero? What do they do? So Apicero is a MuleSoft strategic partner. That is the highest tier of MuleSoft partnerships. And we're one of the leading partners within the global MuleSoft ecosystem. Now, we were founded in 2016, and we have rapidly grown our practice over the last 5-ish years. We have now approached over 1,000 worldwide team members, of which more than 700 are currently MuleSoft certified. And again, that's done in just a little over 5 years. We have a very large presence across Pan-India, and we also have satellite offices in the UK, Canada, Mexico, Dubai, and Australia. Our headquarters is in Chandler, Arizona. By the end of 2021, so the end of this year, we're actually forecasted to double our total employee growth. So that means we're looking at eclipsing 2,000 employees within a 6-year period of our company launch. And that's exponential growth. My colleague Sapna, who heads our learning and development team, will talk a little bit more about Apicero's internal training programs and career opportunities in a little bit. But just a little focus on the company. So we are a MuleSoft partner that has won 3 MuleSoft Partner of the Year awards over the last 2 years. And we just recently received a venture capital investment from Salesforce Ventures, which is Salesforce's strategic investment arm. And we received that back in Q3 of 2020. And like I mentioned, our growth in the ecosystem has been exponential, and it really shows no signs of slowing down right now. We're best described as like a high growth org, and I like to think we have an amazing company culture. Hopefully my colleagues here will agree with me. And I'm really excited to be here today to kind of show you how we can accelerate your career in the MuleSoft ecosystem. Next slide, please, Sarsha. All right. So the whole reason that you're here today is to learn about Apicero's How to Mule series. So what is that? Well, How to Mule is a developer-focused series that we created specifically for individuals from other technologies. So this program is built to essentially showcase how easy it is for you to reskill from whatever current technology you're working in, be that TIBCO or Dell Boomi or Web Methods or SnapLogic, Oracle, or any other technology that you're working in, how you can reskill from that into MuleSoft and do so following a guided pathway. We do that featuring various live customer and developer success stories. Abhijit and Piyush are from my team. They will be talking about their own personal success stories transitioning from TIBCO to MuleSoft. We also feature some guided best practices. We offer free training and learning resources. And then we also host targeted workshops that help enable you to kind of kickstart that journey. So if you've made it to this webinar, you've already taken the first step to becoming a MuleSoft certified developer. And without further ado, I'd like to welcome our speakers for the day. So Varsha, if you could go to the next slide. Thank you. So joining me, I have my colleagues Abhijit and Piyush, who are both solutions architects at Apicero. Thank you, Abhijit and Piyush, for joining me here today. For those of you who have joined a little later, Piyush unfortunately is not feeling so well. He's a little under the weather. So he maybe will not be able to speak as much, but no worries, Abhijit will be able to pick up. So I'm very excited to have all of you guys here with me today. And now I'm going to turn it over to Abhijit.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Savannah. So as Savannah rightly said, the agenda of this webinar is specifically to show you like how easy it is to transition from TIBCO to MuleSoft. And hi, my name is Abhijit and I'm working as a solution architect at Apicero. And I'm having a 10 years of experience at integration consultant. So out of those, for 6 to 7 years, I worked in TIBCO. So in TIBCO, I have worked on various integration tools such as TIBCO BW5, BW6, BWC, and other container edition as cloud edition as well. When I started my MuleSoft journey around 2-3 years back, certifications are one of the most learning paths where you can learn and achieve achieve some quality use when you go with your certifications via trainings. So I did my Mule 4 and Mule 3 certifications last year. I have also passed my MuleSoft integration architect and platform architect certification this year. And my other interests are badminton and current affairs. Savannah, can you please go to next slide? Yeah, so my MuleSoft journey, right? So before that, I would like to share my background. So I started with Infosys and I worked in TIBCO, I worked in L&T and Capgemini. So at these companies, I worked on TIBCO altogether, TIBCO 5, TIBCO 6, TIBCO BWC, these kind of tools, working on POCs, working on development, performance engineering. So this horizon I worked upon. So basically, when digital transformation started in 2015-16, companies and enterprises wanted to move on cloud. They wanted to move their workloads on cloud, and AWS and GCP started picking up at that time. And I was also interested in that, and how I can put my integration application into cloud. And at that time, I came to know that MuleSoft has that capability using Cloud Hub, where you can build your application and you can put that on Cloud Hub directly. So Cloud Hub is basically a wrapper which is written on AWS. So that attracted me to explore MuleSoft. And the tipping point was when Salesforce bought MuleSoft in 2018. So for the Salesforce customer, the de facto integration tool became MuleSoft. And so that was another inspiration for me to learn MuleSoft. So basically, I was into my own comfort zone previously. So like I was thinking that I know TIBCO, so and everyone uses TIBCO. So why should I go, right? And why should I learn? So then after I got 6 years of experience, I started thinking myself that if I want to become an integration architect, or if anyone wants to become an integration architect, they should have flavor of across the integration tools which are there in the market, and should have knowledge of cloud as well, because cloud is the next big thing we have for digital transformation. So that attracted me to learn and explore MuleSoft. And when I started, when I decided and started to learn MuleSoft, most important thing is in MuleSoft, I did get a lot of community support. So there are Telegram groups, there are WhatsApp groups, there are meetups, there are forums, there are private blogs, where we can go and learn MuleSoft. So, it helped me when I was, I was not in Episode at that time, I was in another company. So that helped me a lot, to learn MuleSoft. And also the Anypoint Studio, which is similar to our BW5 and BW6 Studio. It was free to download and explore for the connectors. So that helped me a lot to learn MuleSoft. So after learning MuleSoft, I did my Mule 3 certification, and I started with my first project, which was for a life science consumer in North America. And there basically I worked as a senior consultant for Mule 3 project. So we implemented a API-led connectivity over there. So you must have heard a lot about API connectivity. I mean, across any integration tool is trying to implement that, right? And irrespective of MuleSoft. And yeah, can you please go to next slide, Savannah? So that was my launch project, and I started with integrating with Salesforce and SAP. So MuleSoft has inbuilt connectors, or I would say out-of-the-box connectors for SAP and Salesforce. And for using API-led connectivity, I also expose ERP functions, using APIs, and that was having a high performing or high NFR project. I would say it has a good non-functional requirement. So I also implemented active passive high availability using clusters and using the load balancer present in Cloud. After that, when I joined Epicero, I started working on NBFC project. NBFC project was basically a large lender in North America for VA and other type of home loans. So there as well, when I start, what I learned in my last project, implementing the API-led connectivity and developing the applications. So when I joined Epicero, I was trained in Mule 4. So I did not know much about Mule 4 when I was working Mule 3 in my previous company. So here I got training on Mule 4. I got certified in Mule 4, and then I started working for these NBFC institutions. So that was actually an easy transition because Mule 3 and Mule 4 are almost similar, just like some data, just like some palettes are. So we call it as palette in TIBCO and event processor. So I'm talking in terms of palette. So some palettes are converted from Mule 3 to Mule 4, and there is a full data wave in Mule 4. So I will come to that in the next part, in the things you already know part. So after that, currently I'm working in a utilities project, which is the largest food vendor in North America again, where it is a migration project. I mean, we are migrating from Mule 3 to Mule 4.3. Yeah, so this is all about my background. Thank you. Piyush, continue to you.
Okay, thanks, Abhijit. And so sorry, I have a sore throat, so please bear it with me. with me, sorry. So coming to my background, I have a total of 8 years of experience in IT and completely in the integration domain. Initially, for 6 years, I worked in TIBCO. I associated with different organizations, starting with Infosys and then Cognizant and TIBCO Softwares and then Western Union. And from last 2 years, I'm working on MuleSoft. So coming to these certifications, I have done these certifications like 3, 4, and architect as well. So as per my journey is like, since I was in TIBCO from a long time, so converting myself or reskilling myself into MuleSoft was a challenge, right? But as Abhijit said, right, so there are different communities which for MuleSoft which really helped me, to first of all I was thinking that should I be really reskilling myself to MuleSoft or some other technology, because as Abhijit also said, right, so if we are looking for a long-term goal as an architect, so we should be having experience in multiple integration tools, right? So we have multiple integration tools like TIBCO, Dell, Boomi, and MuleSoft. So I was just thinking whether I should be going with Dell, Boomi, or MuleSoft, because TIBCO as working in TIBCO from last 6 years, and that too in particularly in TIBCO BW 5.5.x version. So I was thinking that my knowledge is a bit stagnant, and that's the reason I wanted to reskill myself into MuleSoft. So that was one thing. Can you please go to next slide? Yeah, so coming to my MuleSoft journey, as I said, right, so in the initial entry of like 2019, right, so there were so many questions into my mind that time when I was trying to reskill myself. So I tried to learn BW6 as well, but what I heard is like BW6 is not that much hit in the market, right? Because it was very unstable. I know some people will not agree with me, so that's okay. But yeah, BW6 initial versions was not that much stable as compared to MuleSoft or Dell Boomi, right? So I was just thinking that whether I should go with BW6 or I should be, reskilling myself to some other different integration tool, right? And the other thing is which came into my mind that time is like the market demand, right? So market demand is one thing. Like if we are trying to reskill ourselves into some other technology, we should be having a thought into our mind that whatever technology I'm trying to reskill myself, what is the market demand of that in the market, right? So when Salesforce acquired MuleSoft in 2018, so after that, if we see the pattern, right? So the market demand for MuleSoft, just hit the market like anything, and it at its peak. Like I remember the time when I got to know from my seniors that the 2008 to 2012 was that golden time for TIBCO. So similar kind of stuff we are seeing for MuleSoft now. So from last 2 to 3 years, the market is really, I mean, MuleSoft capturing almost all the stakeholders and all the clients from different geographical domain, mainly US and Canada, but yes, it's covering all the different geographical locations. And the third point is more towards like how I started my journey, right? So because there, as Abhijit also said, so there were different Mule meetups which I attended to just learn and to take a grasp of like what exactly MuleSoft is, how I can reskill myself. I understand that it's an integration tool, so the basic concepts are same for TIBCO as well as MuleSoft. But the thing is like how to learn that, how from where I should start with, right? So a basic understanding of that was very much required at that time when I was trying to reskill myself by my own. So that was something I attended Mule meetups. I talked with a lot of people, and I understand that how, from where I should start. I should start with the Mule documents or those stuff. Coming to my projects, like I started with the agribusiness. I mean, I worked with different domains right now in MuleSoft, with agribusiness and manufacturing, etc. And working on both Mule 3 and Mule 4. So Mule 3 and Mule 4, there was a major what I can say is upgradation which happened from Mule 3 to Mule 4. But since we have a better understanding of MuleSoft, so it's not a big deal if we are converting ourselves from Mule 3 to Mule 4. Can you please go to next slide? Okay, so these are the projects which I'm working right now. So I'm working on a project wherein we have migrated almost 50 plus applications from Mule 3 to Mule 4. And apart from that, as part of POC, when I just started working on MuleSoft, by my own like I started working on converting TIBCO to MuleSoft. Like I started with this small POC, and I started learning like how I can convert a simple application wherein suppose I am exposing a web service. So how I can do the same stuff in MuleSoft. So it is very easy for the integration guy, because he understands like what exactly we need to do as part of web services or API. So I tried like whatever I have implemented in TIBCO, I try to replicate that into MuleSoft. So it would be very easy for me to correlate the things, like if that is something which is there in TIBCO, so how it would be there in MuleSoft. So later part of this presentation, Abhijit will explain you about the comparison. But yeah, that's what I wanted to share. And these are the integrations which I have worked, like Salesforce, Magento, and Resource Guru, Zoho. That's it. Can you please go to next slide? So now Abhijit will tell you, like from a developer's perspective, like what we can do, what we think whenever we try to reskill ourselves into different technologies. Over to you. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Piyush. So before we jump into that slide, there are a couple of questions which I would like to cover. So this one is from Nandan Kaushik, that hi Abhijit, while working on TIBCO, were you involved in any migration from BW5 to BW6, the two being different certain aspects? If yes, did that experience help in moving Mule 3 to Mule 4? So Nandan, honestly, I was not working in any migration activity, where we are migrating from BW5 to BW6. Right now, in my current project, I'm doing migration from Mule 3 to Mule 4. So basically, first thing is we have to, whenever we are doing migrating anything, the first thing we should focus on that our functionality should remain same. Some people, what they do, they think of changing design as well, think of doing like how we can do the things better as well. So that is a correct viewpoint, in a way that going with certain good process or good approaches, for whenever you are migrating as well. But first thing what comes into my mind is, when we are migrating is we should first try to achieve the functionality whatever my old integration tool is serving, and then that I should be able to replicate that as it is in my upgraded product. I hope I was able to answer your question, Anandan. Moving on to next question, which is from Mayur Mane. What is the minimum system requirement to learn MuleSoft by my own? Yeah. So Mayur, the minimum system requirement is recommended to have 8 GB of RAM and 10 GB of storage space available. Okay, so that using that you can download Anypoint Studio, and that will be that will be sufficient to launch your small project in Studio. Next question is from Shankar Sahu. Apologize for asking very basic question. Does MuleSoft support both data integration and app integration? Yes, it supports both data integration as well, app integration as well. Yes, Shankar, that's correct. Next one is from Mayur Mane again. Do we need to have any programming language expertise? So it is good to have Java standard edition knowledge, Mayur, but not necessary. So there are training programs available with Epicero, which will be covered by Sapna in the next slides, where you will come to know that how thoroughly Epicero covers during their trainings for any mule with respect to mule certification or with respect to mule training. So rest assured about that. Coming back to slides. Yeah, so just taking baton from Piyush. Expectation from the technology. Yeah. So as many of us, like almost everyone from here is a TIBCO developer. So what should you expect, right, from the MuleSoft? So first point and the foremost important point, market demand. Since from 2018, Salesforce has acquired MuleSoft. Remember this thing, the de facto choice for a Salesforce customer is MuleSoft, and there are 100,000 implementations are there all over the world for Salesforce. So imagine what is the market demand for MuleSoft today. Okay, so this is, I think this line answers that question. Learning opportunities. So MuleSoft always try to provide platforms and launch technologies which are relevant to what is going for the digital transformation. So let me give an example. Recently, MuleSoft launched and container-based platform on Elastic Kubernetes Service and Azure Kubernetes Service. So this is something we know that everyone in every organization which wants to digitize itself, they are using these two type of Kubernetes services. I mean, they are going containerized, they are going on cloud, right? So that's why MuleSoft also paved its way by offering this kind of service. Deployment on EKS as well, AKS as well. Job opportunities. I'm sure everyone must be knowing that how many MuleSoft opportunities are there in the market, right? And Epicero is also looking for the good talent who can work on MuleSoft. Community support. There is a lot of community support. There is a help, MuleSoft has its own community forum, help.mulesoft.com, where you can ask any question you want. There are meetups going all around the world. You can just Google search Mule meetups, or you can go to meetups.mulesoft.com. There you can see whatever the meetups are going on every week. So what are meetups? Meetups are basically a 2 hour or 1.5 hour session where a developer picks up a particular topic and tries to deliver whatever the knowledge he has, and that supports a lot, honestly, whenever you are doing an actual development or actual use case implementation in your project. Okay, other than that, so there are MuleSoft ambassadors and MuleSoft cohorts, are mentors all around the world who has created various Telegram groups and WhatsApp groups where you can post your question, and there is because everyone is into this social media app, so it is again greater chance that you get your answer very quickly over there, because I also use that. And in Epicero as well, we have our internal Slack tools where you can, because that is internal, so I'm not discussing much on that, but community wise you can use these forums to put your question or to seek any support. Product innovation, as I said, from the learning opportunities perspective, the MuleSoft always try to be in line of what is going in the digital transformation market. So as I told, in the last quarter itself, MuleSoft released its own version for EKS and AKS, where we can create an application in Mule 4 or Mule 3, and we can deploy that application in EKS and AKS without having much knowledge of it. I will come to the next slide where we are comparing the two tools, TIBCO and MuleSoft, and which one is exactly we can use to deploy this application. Okay, so this is for the product innovation. Yeah, to the going to the next slide. This is the latest API lifecycle management report, which shows that MuleSoft is clearly a market leader in full lifecycle API management as well, and as iPaaS solution as well. So if someone doesn't know what is iPaaS solution, it is an integration platform as a service. As we know, like AWS and GCP, they are providing their own platforms where developers can deploy their code. But there was no platform previously where an integration developer can deploy his code, right? So for this reason, MuleSoft invented Cloud Hub, right? And today, most of the premier organizations or Fortune 500 organizations are deploying their applications and managing their applications in the Cloud Hub. So using that study, Gartner study, we can see that MuleSoft is the leader in API lifecycle management as well, and as iPaaS solution as well. Okay, I think Piyush is answering few questions. Meanwhile,
yeah, Abhijit, let's save some questions
yeah.
to the end of the presentation so that we don't run out of time. I want to be conscious of the time for everybody.
Sure. Let's go ahead with the next slide. Yeah, so here we are doing some basic feature comparison between MuleSoft and TIBCO, right? According to what feature is there and how MuleSoft and TIBCO are performing. So regarding the core integration capabilities, MuleSoft is like whether it is a Mule 3 code or whether it is a Mule 4 code, you create your application once and you can deploy it anywhere. You can deploy it on iPaaS solution, which is Cloud Up, or you can deploy on the on-premise solution, right? Which we call it as Mule on-prem. Or as I said, there is a container offering as well from MuleSoft, which is RTF and EKS and AKS. There as well, you can deploy application. So you don't need to change any code, or you don't need to change any studio, or don't need to change any platform, any line of the code to deploy our code in any of these three platforms. Where in TIBCO, as we saw in the latest product, which is 6.5, there we have three offerings basically from TIBCO: the TIBCO 5.x, which is on-prem, TIBCO BW 6.x, which is on-prem cloud and containers, and for TIBCO BW, which is specifically for container deployments. Going back to connectivity options, in MuleSoft, you will see large number of connectors are already developed. So whenever you want to integrate with any system, say you want to integrate with Salesforce, or you want to integrate with any other tool, say Kafka, or there are number of tools are there in the market. So at that time, you don't need to write any Java code if the tool is not available, because there are around 300 plus connectors available out of the box. So you simply need to go to any point exchange and search for the connector. You copy the POM XML and you put that into your POM XML application POM XML. That's it. Connector will automatically get downloaded from MuleSoft Exchange or from the Maven Center. Okay, where if we go with TIBCO, primarily TIBCO provides 60 plus plugin for its 6.x products, and we need to go to e-delivery side and download that, right? And even the documentation website is little separate, because why I'm mentioning this point, because if you go to any point exchange, you will see documentation and connector download page on the same, information on the same page. Wherein MuleSoft, you need to go, TIBCO, you need to go either you download the connector and check for the PDF, or there is a separate docs.tibco.com website is there, where you can go and check the particular document. And also plugin installation, we need to do separately for TIBCO, whether you are developing in designer or whether you're deploying your code into a runtime. We need to always do the installation. Where in MuleSoft, you don't need to do anything like that. It will automatically download the code from the MuleSoft repository, which we call it as a enterprise repository, or from the Maven Central. Coming back to API design and lifecycle management. So as we saw in the previous slides, where Gartner has already recognized MuleSoft that is a best product in the full lifecycle API management, right? So what do we mean by full lifecycle API management? So first thing is we should be able to design the API, right? So for which MuleSoft has given a solution which is a design center. Then we should be able to publish that API, for which we have a given solution by MuleSoft, which is TIBCO API. MuleSoft API exchange, where you can you can publish your code, and the developers can play around with your code. So that is a single portal for playing around with the mock APIs as well, for designing the APIs as well, and for publishing for the APIs as well. So you can publish your API internal to your organization as well, and you can publish it outside the organization as well by creating a website in few clicks. Okay, so this is the one good capability provided by MuleSoft, where some questions are popping up. Piyush, I hope we are answering those. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And no, regarding the TIBCO, as of now, I mean, TIBCO is still evolving to have a dedicated API design center and mocking capability. Savana, can you please go to next slide? Yeah. Regarding the analytics and monitoring, MuleSoft, once we have a demo, we will show you that MuleSoft has any point monitoring tool available on the platform itself. And here for TIBCO, we use TIBCO Hub for monitoring purpose. Regarding the DevOps adoption, MuleSoft is DevOps ready, because MuleSoft application is already written as per Maven standard. I mean, if you open a MuleSoft application or create a new MuleSoft application, you will see that it is already created in the Maven structure, such as source main resource, source test resources, then main application, right? This kind of folder structure it is already following. Even TIBCO, we can achieve DevOps using app managed scripts. And but if you want to go with standard Maven, then a plugin is required for DevOps adoption. Important part coming to whenever we want to unit test our code, MuleSoft has given a capability which is called as MUnit, where we can create a unit testing for our code. Okay, where in TIBCO, basically we write separate test harness, or it basically does not have a unit testing framework. We have to write our own unit tests using SOAP UI or Postman. Regarding the maintenance upgrade, so in the cloud up, basically not in on-premise, there are seamless upgrades for using MuleSoft Anypoint platform. So whenever we deploy any code and any runtime update is available, our code automatically gets updated to that further runtime. So suppose I am on 4.2, right? And there is an update available in cloud up which is 4.3. So in a single click of button, I can convert my 4.2 code to 4.3 code. Okay, but where we have yet to get that capability for TIBCO, and support for hybrid cloud deployment environment. So what do I mean by hybrid cloud environment? Yeah, you are right, Nanda. BW unit, even it is not maintained properly. So that's why I maintained that point, that there is a BW unit, but it is not maintained and supported by TIBCO properly. And even the documentation is not available. Regarding the hybrid cloud deployment, so what do we mean by hybrid cloud? So in MuleSoft, the hybrid deployment means there is a control plane where we manage our deployments, and there is a runtime plane, or we can say a deployment platform, which is on-premise. So I can have an on-premise deployments, and I can manage those on-premise deployment using control plane, which is hosted on MuleSoft platform. Okay, so this capability is provided by MuleSoft, but in TIBCO we yet to have. But I think PCI is coming up with that for hybrid deployment model. Yes, Savana, we can go to next slide. Yeah. Now, out of this all things, there are few things which we already know. I mean, what are those things? Just 1 second. So for a TIBCO developer, from the integration and development perspective, few things remain same. Okay, what are those? Let's start from the feature IDE. In MuleSoft, we have as same as IDE as TIBCO. So for Mule4 development, we use Studio 7.x. Mule3 we use 6.x. Similarly, we use TIBCO Designer for 5.x deployment, and Studio 6 and we use for container as well, TCA as well. So whenever you will go and download the community edition for Anypoint Studio, you will see that it is similar to what you have done already, or what you are doing already in TIBCO Designer. Application management, it is similar to what we call it as TIBCO Administrator, where we deploy our classic BW5x archives, or T, where we deploy TIBCO BW6 archives, right? So it is similar functionality to what Runtime Manager has. Using Runtime Manager, you can deploy APIs or implementations in on-premise as well. We can deploy our applications on Cloud Hub as well. We can deploy our applications on RTF or EKS, AKS as well. Okay. Coming back to API gateway, MuleSoft has API manager where we can put policies, okay, such as JSON thread protection, or any certificate policy. And where in TIBCO we have API exchange, where we can same thing we are doing. I mean, putting policies over there and putting and managing policies and certificates, right? Again, going back to the cloud integration, which is an iPaaS feature. Both MuleSoft and TIBCO, with the iPaaS feature which they are offering, which is Cloud Hub or TIBCO Cloud integration, both are built on AWS. Okay, so it's similar thing. So VPC, VPN, these concepts will remain same. Okay, coming back to messaging platform, MuleSoft has a MQ offering, which is called as Anypoint Message Queue. Basically, that is a cloud native, so you can call it from the internet as well. But in TIBCO AMS, it is mostly based on JMS standards. So it is basically used on premise as of now. For monitoring and alerts, as I said before, we have Anypoint monitoring, right? Using which we can create custom dashboards, we can create pie charts, and we can create alerts as well. Suppose if an application is down or server is down, we can create or mention specific alerts using Anypoint monitoring. Similarly, functionality we have in TIBCO, which is achieved using TIBCO Hawk, right? To create alerts and I mean, dashboard functionality is separate. We can use Spotfire for that. but monitoring alerts can be done using TIBCO Hub. Okay, important part. We are very comfortable when any TIBCO developer, whenever he wants to do any mapping, he is comfortable. He will just drag and drop and mapper and start doing XPath expressions, right? Here in data view, we have to do a little study for a TIBCO developer, because once we are in TIBCO and using XPath, then it is become a little challenging to learn data view. But once you do some practice for data view, I'm sure we will get into that path. And as I said, there is a lot of community support available. It will be like easy go for you, using data view. So no need to be concerned about data view. Fine. We can go to next slide. Yeah. Now Piyush will show you the demo that how easy it is to create a Hello World application and deploy that application on your iPaaS, or we are saying Cloud Hub in terms of MuleSoft. So Piyush, over to you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Let me share my screen. Okay, so this is the Anypoint Studio, the similar we have TIBCO designer, right? So we have Anypoint Studio. I opened this. This is version 7, and I'm creating a Mule project. So we are using HTTP listener because we are trying to create a web service which we are going to expose. So we need to give the configuration. Just everything would be as it is. We need to give the path. And we are putting a transfer message just to set the payload which we want to get as the output. Okay, now I'm going to deploy this application. I'm exporting it as a jar. We can deploy from Cloud Hub from here as well. We have an option to directly deploy to Cloud Hub, but I want to show you that how we can create an account in the Anypoint if we are doing for the first time, right? So I'm exporting the jar here. Okay, so meanwhile, let's create an Anypoint account. So this is a one-time activity. We need to just create an account for the first time, and then we can use that. Okay, so the account is created. Now we'll deploy the application. So there are some options as you can see, right? So the runtime version is 4.3. Worker size is what exactly we are giving as a V core, right? So for 0.1 V core, we have 500 GB of data, which is there in the as a hard disk. And workers is nothing but the EC2 instance which it created in AWS. So these are the workers. Properties, if we want to give any runtime property at the time of runtime, if we want to add something, so we can add in the properties. Yeah.
So this is basically same as how we manage properties in TIBCO 5.x. So we can manage properties from here as well.
Okay, so now it is getting deployed. So we can we can fetch the URL from the settings. URL is generated already. This is the app URL. Okay, so as part of this demo, right, so we are just trying to show, like, how easy it is to develop and deploy the application. So the similar kind of stuff is there in TIBCO as well. So the intention here is to just to show you that if you're going to reskill ourselves in MuleSoft, so how we can correlate with TIBCO, and how easy it is to just deploy the application in Cloud Hub and to develop the application as well.
So Avinash, to answer your question, logs are kept for 30 days. It means the Cloud Hub offering, which is an iPaaS offering from MuleSoft, they keep the logs for 30 days. So basically, there is an API which is provided by Cloud Hub, which we can use to download these logs on premise. Okay, so we can retain it for longer time once we download it on our on-premise machines. There is another question from Akshay Chikne. As we are able to see the data files and access TIBCO application via backend, how we can achieve the same in Mule? We can achieve that for on-premise implementation, Akshay, not for iPaaS. So for iPaaS solutions, we cannot go and log in or SSH into the machine. The machine is called as a worker over here in Cloud Hub. But if it is a runtime, it is a on-premise, then we can definitely go to /mule/apps folder, and we can access these applications. I hope I answered your question.
Okay, as part of logging the question which came, right? So apart from that, if we want, like, we don't want to log it into the Cloud Hub and we want to use some other applications like Splunk, so that also we can do. We have to set the configurations into the log4j XML, and then we can use Splunk as well. I mean, as part of the logging framework. So in this log4j, we need to pass the configurations for Splunk. Then in that case, all the logs will be routed to Splunk. So yes, so we can see that the payload is coming. So this is a small demo just to show that how easy it is to develop and deploy the application.
It's like within 10 minutes you can create a Hello World application and deploy on your iPaaS iPaaS platform. You can expose it to client. As easy as that. Varsha, can you share the slides again? Yeah, so these are the few learning resources which I think Avinash has also the question previously, that what are the community support available. So basically, if you go to the first link, Varsha, can you click on that link? It will route you to, yeah. So basically, this is the self-paced course which MuleSoft provides. So you need to go and enroll yourself, and then here you can learn MuleSoft Mule 4 basically from basics, which can also prepare you for your Mule 4 certification. Can we go to next link, please? Yeah, so this is a basic documentation website, which is everything is on the internet. So you don't need to download any PDFs or documents. Can simply go and start getting the knowledge from here. Yeah, next link, please. So this is one of my favorite website, blogs.mulesoft.com. Here you will see n number of blogs, how to implement a MuleSoft application, whether it is a basic connector or advanced connector. So various type, MuleSoft, various MuleSoft experts from the world, they are putting their own journeys and own thinking. So we don't need to relearn anything. So this no need to reinvent the wheel. Everything is already available over here. Next link, please. Yeah, this is also a sublink from the main link, whether it is providing you end-to-end development guide to learn MuleSoft. Yeah, so this is the official YouTube channel, and where you can go and try to understand some basic as well as advanced concepts about API-led connectivity, runtime fabric, and other capability which is offered by MuleSoft. So as I said before, regarding the community support, if you navigate to meetups.mulesoft.com, you will see all around the world there are 120 groups which are taking MuleSoft community trainings, or we can say discussions, every week. So around 40 are there in India itself. So you can go to this website and see that if you want to attend a specific training. Now after COVID-19, everything has gone virtual, correct? And we can just search for a specific city or search for a specific discussion we want to be part of from here. So this is really beautiful initiative by MuleSoft. Yeah, next slide, next link, please. Yeah, so this is the data view playground. So basically, whenever we develop anything in TIBCO, we have to, if we want to test the mappings, what we do, we need to run that application. Here, we don't need to do that, to test the XPath. Using data view. So this is the data view web playground where you can simply, practice data view over here. So you can put an input payload on the left side. Similarly, what we are doing in TIBCO. Having an input payload on the left side, write your script and you can see output on the right side. It's same as like whatever we do.
Yeah, so it's a very good platform actually to learn, data view. So
yeah,
one of the attendee, I think, questioned this, right, regarding the data view, how to learn data view. So this is one of the best thing. I mean, you can put any input and you can try to create a transform and try to see the output here only. So we don't need to run any code or something, right? Yes.
so this is the also one of the important links, help.mulesoft.com. From the community perspective, you can see there are 35,000 questions already asked, 98,000 questions, answers are already available. There can be multiple answers for a single question. 67,000 members. So these many are the community members are there for in the help.mulesoft.com website. So you can ask any question, or maybe the question you have is already answered over here. Yeah, so yeah, coming back to trivia now, this is an interesting part. I will ask you 3 questions, okay, about whatever we saw in the previous slide, whatever I discussed with you. We just need to answer them, okay? And you can answer those in the chat box, and there are surprises for them. So let's see what is the first question, Varsha.
Just before I show the question, are we monitoring the chat section for the answers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. First person to answer correctly, guys, is the one that will receive the prizes. Oh gosh.
So, question is, TIBCO admissibility is similar to which MuleSoft capability? API manager, runtime manager, RTF. Oh my god, I think I gave a good session.
I love seeing you guys so engaged. It means you're paying attention. All right, so looks like we have a lot of responses. Abhijit, if you want to go ahead and show the answer.
Yes, Varsha. Yeah, so correct answer is runtime manager.
All right, so it looks like the very first response from Ermi.
Yes, yes.
Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. Sorry, guys. Indian pronunciations are not my specialty, but I am noting everybody's name down. So Ermi, congratulations. You're the first of our 3 trivia winners. So I have that down. Varsha, if we want to go ahead to the next question.
Yes.
So the question is, what is the name of the PaaS solution offered from MuleSoft? Oh my god. So yeah.
Are you guys even looking at the question?
The trivia is always one of my favorite parts because we do typically have a very engaged group and I just love seeing it. It's the best part. It makes all the back end work of planning these events and getting this all coordinated and scheduled. It makes it all worth it. I love seeing you guys engaged and, really excited about learning. So, all right, we can go ahead and showcase the answer. We have a lot of responses.
Yes, the answer is CloudUp.
All right, so it looks like the first answer again was the correct answer. So I see Yogesh. All right, have that noted down. Congratulations, Yogesh. So we have one more trivia for you guys. Let's
The
do it.
final question. Let's try your best, guys. Okay. So a reusable asset for MuleSoft can be published at Anypoint Exchange, Runtime Manager, Cloud Hub, or Design Center. Oh my God. Okay. Everyone is answering.
All right, let's see. I think it was this one right here. All right, let's move forward with the answer.
So answer is Anypoint Exchange.
All right, so I see Karen. I have no idea how to pronounce that name. I'm so sorry.
Karan, maybe.
Karen, okay. That's who I see on my screen. The one was the separator. Seems a lot of my friends from TIBCO background joined here. It's correct pronunciation. Great. Love it. Thank you. All right. Well, congratulations, Urmi, Yogesh, and Karan. We have some awesome prizes, some Epicera swag, and we'll be sending over a 1,800 INR gift card to you guys. Again, give my team a few days to get this out to you. Since tomorrow is Friday, I would say give us until about Monday, and then we'll follow up with you with the gift card details, and then getting your t-shirt sizes and everything we need for the swag to ship that out. All right, so before we turn it over to Sapna, I do have a couple of other polls that I'm going to run for you guys. So you should see those pop up on your screen really quickly. Look at all those responses coming in. I'll run this one for about a minute and then I'll close it, and I'll turn it over to Sapna, and then there's one more poll that I'll release towards the end of the event. It looks like everybody is interested. They want to learn more. They're ready to get rocking in MuleSoft. I love it. All right, just a few more seconds on that poll, and then I'll turn it over to Sapna. All right, I'm gonna close that one out now. Thank you guys for your participation. All right, now let's get started. Sapna, how can Epicera help these guys in their MuleSoft journey? Tell me a little about it.
Yep. Okay. Very, very exciting to see everybody so engaged. I think this was a really good session, and with the number of questions coming in, everybody's really, really raring to go. And I'm more than happy to kind of step in and share with you the journey and how we can actually help you take this forward. So yeah, from a learning and development perspective, the one thing you can be rest assured of is that at Epicero, we have a very detailed and thorough process of taking you through your learning path. So what we do is we offer when folks come in with a little bit of technology background already, we take you on and we groom you. So part of that grooming is there is a 5-week learning program that goes on. So the first 5 weeks, in the 5 weeks, we have the first 2 weeks where we cover the Anypoint platform fundamentals, okay, the development fundamentals course. This is an instructor-led course where the basic concepts of the API-led connectivity approach to build an application network are touched upon, okay, and how it is relevant in today's ever-changing world of technology. So you get to know that. Then we basically, as part of this course, we are covering concepts, walkthroughs, hands-on working to build the fundamental concepts of the API development lifecycle in MuleSoft development. So what happens here is you are able to learn about MuleSoft, and then you're able to go on to take your MuleSoft Certified Developer Level 1 certification. What Piyush had shown you when he clicked on one of the links was the self-paced course. Here we have an instructor-led course. Now, MuleSoft offers the instructor-led course as a 5-day program, which is 40 hours of learning. Okay, so it's 8 hours a day. But at Epicero, we offer it as a 10-day program with 40 hours of instructor-led learning, but we've divided it into 4 hours of learning and 4 hours of DIY or hands-on learning. So as part of that, we make sure that there is a lot that's happening. There are learning circles, there's a lot of exchange that's happening. There are SMEs, subject matter experts who also come in to kind of share their thoughts and knowledge with you as well. Now, after we've done that, we offer Bare Essentials, which is a 3 to 5 day program where we provide an overview on concepts like securing APIs, OAuth, CI/CD, MUnit, which was discussed, and many more. So we go through all of that. And Bare Essentials is then set as a foundation. It sets the foundation for the doctor's program, the doctor's developer track, which follows this learning. That is a 7 to 10 day program. And in that program, we are doing a deep dive. We take you into these high-level concepts, and there are a lot more demos. So you saw a very initial, very basic Hello World demo by Piyush. But what we allow you to do with the doctors is get deep dive into all the various areas and aspects of learning MuleSoft. And that is again done by subject matter experts who are actually working within the program. So we have folks who already come with a lot of project experience who are bringing their knowledge in and sharing that with you. So the methodology followed, like I told you, is learning circles, impromptu quiz in class, facilitator will check. We will do a dipstick survey to check whether you're actually getting what you're learning or not. There are assignments that are provided, and then these assignments are assessed. So the assessment criteria is design, implementation, coverage, presentation, and your approach. So all of that is done. You also get to learn from the class as is. And we also provide you with soft skills enablement as part of this towards the end of the course to basically enhance the quality of client interaction that you will have and boost your self-confidence and boost your workplace productivity. So all of this is really done by during the training, and the SMEs are very, very thorough and they run you through the concepts and help you really get a hands-on learning of what you're going to be doing. So once you have completed all of this, then you get assigned to a project. Now, some folks, while they are on the learning journey itself, may also get pulled into some basic starters of projects to get a feel of what is happening. And so it's quite a robust program. It's very well kind of thought of by people. And so that is what we do. Once you finish that training program, then within the first month of having completed the program, we help you do the data weave program, the coding, which is a 4-day course that finishes. And then soon, once you are into the system and you're actually working on projects and you've got enough experience, then you're able to go in for the MCIA and the MCPA, which is the integration architect and the platform architect certifications as well. So there's a lot of enablement that happens, and there's a lot of support that is provided during the training part. The next slide, please, Varsha. So this is what some of our employees are saying. A lot of them say this, of course, but two of our employees who've completed this, Gagan, and who is a senior solution consultant, and Nitin, who's also a senior solution consultant. So Gagan says it's helped build, the training has helped build his confidence in working with Mule and boosted his personal morale. And Nitin says, I used to doubt whether or not I will be able to do well if I was assigned to a Mule project, but the training provided at Epicero is top class, and now I feel very confident to take up the project that I'm given. The next slide. Yeah. So as part of your next steps, what do you need to do? You primarily need to get involved in the How to Mule breakout series. So there are more sessions that are going to be coming up. We've already done web methods. We have done TIBCO today. I think we have Snap Logic and Delbumi. Is that coming up, Varsha? Savannah, I'm not sure, but yeah, we've got these sessions coming up as well. And we will then also have a follow-up free half-day API-led workshop that will be done by our trainers. So we have one of our technical trainers who will be running it for you. And your workshop attendees will receive a certification voucher, or basically an entry to be able to get your certification completed. Okay. And you'll also be able to, and this is what we'd urge you to do, is to please complete the free self-paced Anypoint Platform Fundamentals course that Piyush had showcased. So the next workshop is scheduled for the 6th of August. And this is going to be run by Ankita Mishra. She is one of our she's a fabulous trainer. She also comes from a TIBCO background, just for you all to know. Okay, she also has a TIBCO background, and she will be able to actually help you correlate your learning and your understanding. So yeah, check in and definitely register for this. And I would definitely urge you to go through this. In our last series, the people who went through and completed this course and certification, who went through, they all went on to complete their certification, and they couldn't thank Varsha enough, and Ankita as well. You know, they've reached out. So what is the next session? Savannah, over to you.
Oh, thanks, Sapna. So we'll have our next How to Mule breakout session will be on Oracle, and it'll be on August 26th. You will receive a email invitation if you'd like to join this. Now, keep in mind, you do not have to attend all of our breakout sessions. If you have, limited to no knowledge in MuleSoft, you don't have to join this session, but we do have some of our attendees, like Gotham, who have joined all of our sessions from the very beginning, and who really, even though they may not have a lot of knowledge in that specific technology, they always pick up on something new that they might have missed from the session before. And every single time that you attend one of these breakout sessions, you will receive that exclusive invitation to join the subsequent API workshop. So if you'd like to attend more than one API workshop, the only way to do that is to attend one or more of our breakout series. Varsha? All right, so if you still have questions, myself and Varsha are here to help you navigate your journey wherever your starting point is. My email and Varsha's email are right there. I also encourage you to follow us on social media at Apicero. Our Instagram is a little different. If you want to follow us on Instagram as well, that's at Apicero Inc. But we do post a lot of exciting content, upcoming events in terms of the How to Mule series. We also have a lot of great blogs, or what we call tech tutorials, that our internal MuleSoft and Salesforce resources deliver. And it'll also be very valuable for you to kind of check out that content. So make sure you follow us on social media. And then outside of that, I just want to thank you all for being here with us today. I do have one more poll to run for you guys. So you'll see that really quickly, and I'll run it for a minute, and then we can kind of close that out. So it's a simple question. If you're interested in exploring a career with Apicero, let me know. I will make sure that one of our fabulous recruiters reaches out to you. I'm seeing some comments. I love it, everybody. Let us know what you thought of the session in the chat before we end. You will also receive a feedback survey. It should pop up as soon as we end the session. If not, you'll also receive a follow-up email in the next few days that Varsha will be sending out. Please complete that feedback survey. Let us know about your experience, how we can improve, what you'd like to see for future sessions. There will be comment sections that you can kind of leave any outside feedback into. But it really does help us to better improve your future experiences, not only for yourself, but for other attendees that are joining the session. So I've got a majority of responses on the poll. Thank you guys so much again for being here with us. I look forward to seeing you all at the next How to Mule series, and hopefully you all will be joining our API workshop. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Everyone, thanks a lot.
Bye.